Yeah, awesome. I see this process as a transition to move people out of the captivation of slavery that they're in into a state of self-responsibility. What other processes do you know of that people are doing and can do right now, also as a sort of transition?
We have to get to know our neighbours. We have to work things out locally. And there's a service that I've put out there. It's called commonalarm.com, and that's if it's set up so that if your human rights are about to be stomped on, or anything that you'd normally call the police and you don't have faith in the police for it, or whatever it is, or you just need a hand from people around you, you can call it, and it will turn around and SMS those in your area that share equal concern for that. So that's a transitionary step also. And community currencies too. I mean, we're going to see within the next 12 months a collapse of this fraudulent banking system, so that they can do the next fraudulent one on us. But
we've seen it happening right in front of our eyes now. Look at Greece, look at Iceland. They've disassociated themselves to the IMF, to the Federal Reserve. They don't want any of their money. They want to become independent in terms of being more self-sustainable themselves. And there's uprisings happening all over the world. So it's just a sign that the system is falling, and that those at the very top are trying to hold on to the power that they've had. But I think the transition is happening right in front of our eyes right now. We're seeing a pyramid that's going to be turned upside down. So the masses are going to be the ones who are ignorant, who will now wake up, understand what's really going on, and move together to something more self-sustainable.
I hope so.
It highlights that old adage of the problem, reaction, solution, and everyone's actually waking up to that practice. And so hence the reason why, even though they can step into the next stage of it, it is amazing about the amount of people who are now becoming aware of what's going on.
Yeah, well, they know. There was a survey and people know that the banks are the thing that's doing them in. They know that. So the transition step I tried was in the last community I was in New Zealand was I tried a community currency. That's a known way to rebuild the wealth in the community, and I think it's probably we have to probably do that step before going the full whānau hapu collective. Everyone has their needs met. I'd love to be straight in that zone, but there's enough resistance going to the community currency. But there's a free model for how to set one up in your community. It's non-computer based on the kohacooperative.net, and so feel free to go to that, and that's actually still working in the last community that we were there. So it really, within a year of a community using a community currency, you'll visibly notice the wealth being restored, and the distribution of wealth being good.
Awesome. And I'd just like to end off, and this may be a little rant or whatever, but I posted this on Facebook when someone was talking about this monetary system is the best system we had, and I came back with basically, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking that created them. And that was by Albert Einstein. He actually said that as well. And I also said that the social structure is rigged, the game is hacked. No matter how hard you try to patch it up, the same cycle of problems will repeat like a hamster running hard out on his hamster wheel. The system needs removing, not patching or reinterpreting. It needs to be replaced, or we are screwed, bottom line. The social structure creates a psychological distorted environment based on a few elements such as false scarcity, ruthless competition, and addictive self-interest, leading to revenue and equity materialism without any thought of the environmental or social concern whatsoever. And some say this free market system is superior. This distorted environment creates and shapes our behaviors, hence why we have screwed up social and cultural values at the moment on this planet. Our technology is racing and evolving rapidly forward, while our social and cultural values are still stuck in the dinosaur age where we parasite and predator off one another. Screwed up values within ourselves, really, which first and foremost need to change in order for us to change what's outside of ourselves, which is our environments, our planet, our future. We need to educate the crap that has been indoctrinated and drummed into our minds out of our minds because it is no longer relevant today, and update ourselves to present day knowledge through factual relevant, transparent education. Create the value change, create the pole shift from mind to heart, become the beacon and resonate to others. True change can happen if you choose it to be.
Just add one thing to it, that was great. There's Albert Einstein along the same track. It says, but the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Now, apply that to the elections that are coming up later this year. When you register to vote, is you're saying a tick of confidence in the roles of society.
Awesome. And can you give us those websites again? People can go to there, Simon, where some of the information you talked about.
Yeah, getthepowerback.info, and that'll lead you to quite a few things there, and livingfoodbank.net.
It's awesome having you here, Simon, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for your time. It's been an interesting conversation. We've looked at quite a few topics and examples. I actually wish you the best on your future endeavours, especially in terms of being one of those people who are working hard to turn our communities around and away from what's been put out there currently. So, all the best in your future endeavours.
Yeah, ka pai, thanks.